I'm Mike, 39 years old when it all started, 42 when it ended. This is the story of how I lost my wife, but kept my kids, my house, my money, and most importantly, my self-respect. While she, the woman who once meant everything to me, lost nearly everything. If you're reading this from outside the US, maybe in the UK, Australia, or somewhere in Europe or Asia, picture the classic American suburb: manicured lawns, SUVs in driveways, kids riding bikes after school, and families grilling burgers on weekends. Our life in Westchester County, just north of New York City, embodied the American dream, that iconic cultural ideal of upward mobility, home ownership, and family stability that draws immigrants from around the world and fuels Hollywood movies. But in America, where individualism reigns and self-fulfillment is a core value, marriages can crumble under the weight of high-pressure careers, suburban isolation, and shifting social norms. Divorce rates hover around 40–50% nationally, though lower among the educated elite like us, and in New York State, no-fault divorce laws make it easier to end things without proving wrongdoing, emphasizing personal happiness over lifelong vows. Yet cultural expectations of the perfect family persist, especially in affluent suburbs like Scarsdale, where community events, PTA meetings, and holiday block parties mask underlying tensions. I'll tell it all, with every painful conversation, every internal conflict, every moment of rage and calculation. It's a long tale because real life isn't a quick summary. It's layers of hurt, strategy, and eventual triumph. Buckle up. This is how I turn the tables in a society that values resilience and reinvention. We were the couple everyone admired in Scarsdale, an upscale suburb known for its top-rated public schools, historic homes, and easy commuter access to Manhattan via the Metro North train. In American culture, suburbs like this represent the post-World War II ideal of family togetherness, escaping the hustle of city life for a quieter, greener existence where kids can play safely and parents can build equity in real estate. Our three-story colonial home, with its wraparound porch adorned with American flags on the 4th of July and jack-o'-lanterns for Halloween, sat on a half-acre lot, complete with a fire pit for summer s'mores and a swing set that echoed with the kids' laughter. The garage fit two vehicles: my rugged Ford F-150 truck, perfect for weekend Home Depot runs, a staple of American DIY culture, and her sleek Honda Pilot, ideal for shuttling the kids to after-school activities like soccer practice or piano lessons, which are practically mandatory in competitive suburban parenting. Two wonderful children, Lana, our 14-year-old daughter, navigating the stormy seas of adolescence in a culture where teens are bombarded with social media pressures from TikTok and Instagram, spending hours sketching cityscapes inspired by our family trips to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And Phil, our 9-year-old son, diagnosed with ADHD, a condition increasingly recognized and treated in American schools with IEPs, individualized education programs, a bundle of energy who could turn any room into a playground, much like the hyperactive kids in popular US sitcoms. Careers were thriving, reflecting the American work ethic of long hours and ambition. I was the senior project engineer at a major construction firm in Midtown Manhattan, earning a solid six-figure salary but battling constant deadlines and client demands in an industry fueled by the nation's endless infrastructure boom. Hannah managed marketing for a national cosmetics brand, jetting off to conferences in places like Las Vegas or Miami, posting polished photos on LinkedIn and Instagram, part of the US culture of personal branding and networking. In America, especially in the Northeast, dual-income households are the norm, with women comprising nearly half the workforce, but this often leads to work-life balance struggles, a buzzword in self-help books and TED Talks. At barbecues with neighbors, those quintessential American gatherings with hot dogs, potato salad, and cold beer on Memorial Day or Labor Day weekends, they'd joke, "You two are living the American dream. House, kids, careers. What's your secret?" I'd chuckle and say, "Communication and a lot of coffee," nodding to the cultural obsession with caffeine-fueled productivity. And I believed it. We still had weekly sex, weekend hikes in nearby Harriman State Park, a nod to Americans' love for outdoor recreation, and family traditions like carving turkeys for Thanksgiving, a holiday centered on gratitude, family reunions, and overeating, or decorating the tree for Christmas, blending secular Santa Claus lore with subtle religious undertones in a diverse, multicultural society. I thought our foundation was rock solid, embodying the cultural value of family first, preached in churches, schools, and Hallmark movies. But cracks were forming, subtle at first, like hairline fractures in concrete, mirroring how many American marriages erode under unspoken resentments. It started with the everyday stresses of middle-aged marriage, amplified by US cultural norms that glorify busyness as a badge of honor. My latest project, a luxury condo tower in Brooklyn, was plagued by supply chain delays, forcing me into overtime and boozy networking dinners at trendy Manhattan spots, a common rite in corporate America where schmoozing builds deals. Hannah was equally buried, brainstorming ad campaigns for new lipstick lines targeted at diverse demographics, reflecting America's melting pot of cultures and the beauty industry's push for inclusivity. Our conversations shrank to bare essentials. Did you pay the utility bill? Phil has soccer practice at 6. Evenings, I'd collapse on the couch watching NFL games, football being a national obsession, especially during fall Sundays, while she typed away on her phone. I dismissed it as a temporary rut. Couples in their late 30s hit these walls as countless podcasts and books like The 7 Principles for Making Marriage Work by John Gottman attest. We'd power through like we always had, drawing on the American spirit of optimism and self-improvement. Then the red flags waved. Hannah giggling at texts during family movie night. A cozy ritual with popcorn and Disney Plus streams, her phone buzzing incessantly. One Thursday evening, I left work early, picking up her favorite Thai takeout from the spot in the village, a fusion restaurant blending Asian flavors with American twists. I crept into the kitchen, where she was stirring pasta sauce, and wrapped my arms around her waist. "Surprise, hun! Pad Thai and spring rolls. Let's eat on the porch. It's beautiful out. Classic suburban sunset." She startled, fumbling to hide her screen. "Oh, Mike, you're home already. I was just messaging my colleague about tomorrow's pitch, something about targeting Gen Z influencers." I nuzzled her ear, inhaling her signature scent, the floral notes of her favorite perfume, a staple in American women's beauty routines. "You've been all smiles with that phone lately. Who's the lucky one making you light up like that? Work crush?" She swatted my arm, her laugh forced. "Don't be ridiculous, Mike. It's just the girls from marketing sharing office gossip. You know how catty it can get in corporate America. Why are you always assuming the worst? It's not like we're in some soap opera." I stepped back, sensing the edge in her voice, a defensiveness that in hindsight echoed the cultural shift toward privacy in the digital age. "Hey, I was teasing. No big deal. Kids, food's here." The meal was tense. Phil chattered about his school project on dinosaurs, a hands-on assignment typical of US education's emphasis on interactive learning. Lana complained about math homework, venting about the pressures of standardized testing like the SATs looming in her future. But Hannah kept glancing at her phone under the table, a habit increasingly common in a society glued to screens. Later, in bed, as we scrolled Netflix, binge-watching being a modern American pastime, another notification lit her face, and she smirked. "What's got you grinning?" I asked, trying to sound casual. "Just a funny TikTok from my sister." "Relax, Mike. Good night." I lay awake, staring at the shadows on the ceiling, a gnawing unease settling in. Was it paranoia, or was something off? In American culture, where therapy is normalized, and books like Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus sell millions, I wondered if we needed couples counseling, a common step for struggling marriages. The kids picked up on it too. Friday morning, on the drive to school, Lana to her middle school with its advanced art program funded by high property taxes, Phil to elementary with his special ed support under the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. Idea. I broached it with Lana. "Dad, Mom seems distant. She's always on her phone, and when I ask for help with my sketches, she says, 'later,' and never follows through, like she's in her own world." I kept my eyes on the road, navigating the winding suburban streets, lined with maple trees that blaze orange in autumn, a sight that draws leaf peepers from across the country. "Mom's got a lot on her plate at work, kiddo. Give her time. How about we hit the art supply store this weekend? Your choice of paints. Maybe some inspired by the Hudson River School artists, since we're so close to the valley." Phil leaned forward from the back seat, buckling his seatbelt as per strict U.S. child safety laws. "Yeah, but Mom used to play catch with me after dinner. Now she just sits on the couch texting." "Dad, is she mad at us? Or is it like in those movies where parents fight?" "No way, buddy. She's tired from all those trips, flying coach to conferences, dealing with jet lag. I'll talk to her. Tonight, let's do pizza and board games. Just us four. Monopoly, American edition." Dropping them off, Phil hugged me tight. "Love you, Dad. Tell Mom I miss her stories, the ones about pilgrims for Thanksgiving." Lana waved, but her eyes looked worried, reflecting the cultural anxiety around family breakdown in a nation where broken homes are stigmatized yet common. On the Metro North train to the city, a daily ritual for thousands of suburban commuters, reading the New York Times or listening to podcasts, I replayed the signs, the secretive smiles, the locked phone, the growing distance. By the time I reached my office overlooking Times Square, that neon symbol of American excess, doubt had taken root. The bombshell dropped on a stormy Sunday afternoon, during one of those lazy weekends where Americans recharge with errands and family time. I was in the basement home office, charging an old iPad for Phil to use for educational games. His therapist recommended apps for focus, part of the U.S. healthcare system's emphasis on mental health interventions for children. When it powered on, Hannah's Messenger app was still signed in. She'd borrowed it for a video call with her team, a common tool in remote work culture post-COVID. I intended to log out, but a conversation thread jumped out. Craig, with a mountain emoji, perhaps nodding to America's love for outdoor adventures, like hiking in national parks. Who the hell was Craig? Curiosity won. I tapped it, and my world tilted. Messages dated back weeks. Daily exchanges from morning coffee, Starbucks runs being a cultural staple, to late-night whispers. Hannah. He's working late again, probably at some happy hour with clients in the city. I feel invisible in this big house. Craig, that's no way to treat a queen like you. If I were your husband, I'd wake you with breakfast in bed. Pancakes and bacon, the all-American way. Tell you how stunning you are every day. Hannah, you're too kind. It's nice to feel appreciated. How was your weekend hike in the Appalachians? Craig, amazing, but lonely. Wish you could join me. We'd watch the sunset, talk for hours, maybe share a craft beer. There were deleted sections, leaving her replies hanging. That sounds perfect. I shouldn't, but no explicit photos, but the emotional intimacy was a gut punch, betraying the cultural vow of forsaking all others in American weddings. She vented about my flaws, the stress I brought home from high-stakes jobs, my occasional snoring, a joke in US commercials for sleep aids, even intimate details I'd confided in vulnerable moments during our date nights at local vineyards. I screenshot frantically, my pulse racing like I'd run a marathon. Then I shut it down, placed it back, and went upstairs to help with laundry, acting normal while inside, I seethed. That evening, as Hannah tucked Phil in, reading from Where the Wild Things Are, a classic American children's book, I overheard her on the phone in the hallway, laughing softly, perhaps at a meme or something more. When she came to bed, I turned to her. Babe, are we okay? You seem distant lately. With all the travel and my hours, maybe we need to reconnect, like that couple's retreat we talked about last summer. She sighed, rolling away. I'm fine, Mike. Work's crazy, dealing with diversity campaigns for Black History Month and Women's History Month. Let's not overthink it. Good night. I didn't sleep, replaying those messages in my head, the betrayal sinking deeper in a culture where emotional affairs are as damning as physical ones, as explored in books like The State of Affairs by Esther Perel. This became my nightly ritual, a silent torment amid the quiet suburban nights. After the kids were asleep, I'd slip to my office, boot the iPad, and monitor in real time as she chatted from the living room couch, perhaps with a glass of California Chardonnay. The conversations grew bolder, reflecting America's open discussions about sexuality in media and therapy. Hannah, he tries in bed, but it's routine. Lights off, quick finish. I pretend sometimes to boost his ego, like in those rom-coms. Craig, you deserve passion, fireworks, like a 4th of July show. I'd make you scream with pleasure. Slow kisses down your neck, hands exploring, building until you can't take it. Imagine us in a cabin. No kids, no deadlines. Hannah, God, that turns me on. Tell me more. What would you do next? Use your words. I need the details. Craig, I'd flip you over, enter slowly, whisper how amazing you feel. We'd go all night, like in those steamy Netflix series. Hannah, I wish. He never lasts long enough. Too tired from commuting. I sat there, whiskey in hand, bourbon being a cultural favorite, tears burning my eyes, but silent. I'd drink until numb, then crawl into bed beside her, the stranger, questioning the cultural myth of happily ever after peddled in Disney movies and wedding industries. Mornings were hell, blending with the suburban rush hour. Over cereal, Cheerios, an American breakfast icon, Phil would ask, Mum, can we go to the park today? Like for Little League practice? Hannah, distracted by her phone. Not today, sweetie. Mom has a Zoom call with the team, discussing Pride Month promotions. Diversity is big in corporate America now. Lana, you're always on that thing. Is it more important than us? We're supposed to be a family, like in those Hallmark Christmas movies you love. Hannah, Lana, don't be rude. It's work. paying for your art classes and Phil's therapy. I'd mediate. Hey girls, easy. How about I take you both to the zoo this weekend? See the pandas, a symbol of US-China diplomacy. But the family rift widened, echoing national trends where technology strains relationships, as reported in studies like the Pew Research Center's on digital habits. When I uncovered their plan, Craig, flying in from his hometown in the Appalachians, a region known for its rural American culture of bluegrass music and coal mining heritage, for a weekend at a Manhattan hotel, I knew it was time. Screenshots showed. Hannah. Can't wait for Friday. I'll say it's a girls' spa trip, common for stressed mums in the burbs. Craig. Marriott Midtown, room with city views. We'll order room service, steak and wine. Explore each other all night. Like a romantic getaway from those Hallmark films, but steamier. I met with a divorce attorney in White Plains, a grizzled veteran named Mr. Thompson. In an office filled with files on grey divorces, a term for separations after age 50, increasingly common in America as boomers prioritize personal fulfillment. In his cluttered space, I laid out the printouts. Jesus, son, this is damning. Emotional affair turning physical. In New York, no-fault divorce is standard since 2010, allowing splits without blame, reflecting cultural shifts toward individual happiness. But this gives you leverage for custody and alimony. Courts consider best interests of the child, emphasizing stability. We talked for hours, delving into NY laws where the state has an interest in preserving marriages but allows equitable distribution of assets. I want the house, primary custody. The kids need stability in this school district, and she pays child support, as per guidelines based on income. He nodded. Tough on custody. Courts often favor mothers in traditional roles, but build your case. Be the hands-on parent. Document everything. Let her think reconciliation is possible to avoid nastiness. Common in amicable U.S. divorces. I prepared. Opened separate bank accounts, using apps like Ally, popular in digital-savvy America. Withdrew half the savings. Had him draft a separation agreement favoring me, including provisions for therapy, a cultural norm for processing trauma. The day before their rendezvous, Hannah was unusually affectionate. Over dinner, steak I grilled on our Weber, a suburban essential, she leaned in. Mike, this weekend, I'm heading to a spa retreat with the girls from work. Need to unwind. Stress is killing me, like in those wellness trends everyone's talking about. When I get back, let's plan a family vacation. Maybe Disney World, the ultimate American rite of passage. Rekindle things. I smiled, hugging her. Sounds great, hun. You deserve it. Self-care is big these days. I'll hold down the fort with the kids. Have fun, get that massage. She kissed me deeply. You're the best husband. I love you, through thick and thin, like our vows said. Inside, I seethed, but played along, drawing on the American value of stoicism in crisis. D-Day, Friday evening. I dropped the kids at a friend's for a sleepover, playdates being a key part of suburban social life. Drove to the hotel in Midtown, amid the bustling energy of NYC, the city that never sleeps. Called the room from the lobby. Craig answered, voice nervous. Hello? This is Mike, Hannah's husband. Tell her to come down, now. Who? You have the wrong number. Must be a prank. Don't bullshit me. I know everything. The messages, the plans for your romantic weekend. Get her down here, or I call your wife. I have her number from LinkedIn. Easy in this connected world. Minutes later, Hannah emerged from the elevator, makeup smudged, dress rumpled, She collapsed into a chair in a quiet corner. Mike, how did you know? Please listen. It's not what it looks like. We were just talking, catching up. I slammed the binder of printouts on the table. Not what it looks like? Read your own words. He's clueless in bed. I fake it. Planning this tryst while lying to me about a spa. Explain that, in a country where honesty is supposed to be a core value. She flipped pages, sobbing. I was lonely, Mike. You're always at work, commuting 2 hours a day. Stressed from the rat race. Craig made me feel wanted, like in those self-help books about finding your spark. We talked, that's all, until tonight. We hadn't done anything yet. Forgive me. Think of Lana and Phil, their school friends, the community. Divorce would destroy our image in the PTA. Remember our wedding in the Hamptons? We promised, till death do us part, in front of 200 guests. The fight dragged on for 30 minutes in that lobby corner, voices hushed amid the hotel's cosmopolitan crowd. Forgive? You mocked my insecurities, the ones I shared in trust during our therapy sessions last year. You chose him over our family, over the American dream we built. She clutched my arm. I didn't. It was a mistake, a fantasy escape from suburban monotony. The same old routines, soccer moms, and minivans. I'll end it. Block him. Go to couples counseling. It's so common here. Let's go home. Talk to the kids together. We can save this, like those celebrity couples who reconcile. No, sign this separation agreement. You move out tonight, to an apartment in White Plains or wherever. Half the savings is yours. Refuse, and copies go to Lana. She's old enough to understand. Your parents in Florida, retired snowbirds, a classic American migration. Your boss, corporate America, hates scandals. Our church group, at the local Presbyterian. She begged, Mike, please, my reputation, I'm the face of the company, promoting empowerment for women. Lana's at that age, she'd hate me, post about it on social media. Don't do this. I love you. Let's try mediation, like in those divorce shows on TV. You loved me? Prove it. Sign and leave. This is New York. We can do no fault later. But you crossed a line. She did, tears streaming. I left, drove home through the Hudson Valley's scenic routes, and broke down in the driveway, punching the steering wheel until my knuckles bled. Releasing the pent-up rage in a culture that encourages emotional expression through therapy or gyms. Monday, movers took her things. A service booming in America's high-mobility society. That night, I sat the kids down in the living room, surrounded by family photos from vacations to Yellowstone National Park. Guys, Mum's moving out for a bit. We need space to figure things out, like many families do these days. Phil, why, Dad? Is Mum sick? When's she coming back for movie night? Lana, it's that guy, isn't it? I overheard you on the phone with the lawyer. Mom's cheating? Like in those teen dramas on Netflix? I hugged them. It's complicated. Adult stuff. Mom and I have issues, but we both love you. She'll see you weekends, maybe take you to Broadway shows. We'll co-parent. That's the modern way. Phil cried, I want Mom. She makes pancakes on Saturdays with maple syrup, the real Vermont kind. Lana, if she hurt you, Dad, I hate her. Families are supposed to stick together, like in The Simpsons or something. Weeks of family therapy followed, a staple in American culture for navigating divorce, with sessions covered by insurance. Hannah pleaded in joint meetings. Mike, I screwed up. Let's rebuild for the kids' sake. Think of their college funds, the stable home. The kids' resentment built, influenced by cultural narratives of loyalty and betrayal in media. In court, where NY judges prioritize child welfare, I won primary custody, the house, and support. 2 years on, I have the house, kids, peace, dating via Tinder, embracing single life in a culture that celebrates second chances. Hannah, regretful, broken, navigating the stigma of divorced women in professional circles. Victory is sweet in a land of reinvention.